Good morning, good evening, and good afternoon, whenever or wherever you may be listening. Welcome to another show on the Sports Music and Life podcast. Today, I'm going to be covering about the boxing at the weekend, the Galal Yafai undercard, and the Galal Yafai fight against Rodriguez. I'm going to start as usual. I'll go through the review of the notes that I've wrote down on my phone and give you my little view on it. If you've got your own views, give us a comment in the comments and tell us what you thought about the weekend's fight. I must say, that's the best show Eddie Hearn has put on in a long time. Obviously, it ain't always his fault. It's the fighters that make the show. All he can do is the matchmaking, and sometimes it goes wrong. But that was a real cracking show from Eddie Hearn this week, and all good fights, and there's nothing better than watching the show when it's all good fights. So let's get into it. So the first fight was an 18-year-old girl from Bristol, TMA Ayton versus Uzagi at super bantamweight. Uzagi being a journey girl, you could tell that as the fight is going on. This was Ayton's second fight. And must say she was very impressive, and she could go on to do some good stuff in the super bantamweight division. So round one, Ayton got straight down to business, landing some big shots, looking very good, landing clean shots. Uzagi's head was snapping back, it was all over the place, and looked about out of her depth. Like I say, she was a journey girl. No disrespect to them, they help out these professionals that are really up and coming, and Ayton was looking very impressive. So round two was much the same, picking her shots lovely. Ayton showing some power and good skills, throwing a variety of punches, and yeah, she was really really impressive. First time seeing her fighting, and must say, as I said, very impressed by it. So going into round three, Ayton comes out and drops Uzagi pretty early in the round. She gets up before the 8 count, and then goes straight down from another big shot. Like I say, she's definitely one for the future, Ayton, and really impressed with her skill and the power she's carrying too. I know it was just a journey girl, and we see how she goes as she steps up, but normally you can tell they carry good power, and she did carry some good power with a nice variety and punches that she had. Right. So fight two was at cruiserweight. It was Patrick Brown versus Ivan Duca. I believe I pronounced that right. Never seen these two before, so it was another first time watching his fight. So let's get into it then. So round one, Duca took some big shots in this round. He had damage to his eye from the beautiful shots that Brown had thrown in the round that started a bit slow, taking a look at each other, and more Brown taking a look. So Brown was sort of having a workout around, seeing where he's going to pick his shots, and see where he can get to him and hurt him and whatnot. So round two, lovely combination. Down Duca, Brown dropped to the body to hooks after setting up with a headshot, and then landed a lovely uppercut to take Duca off his feet. The ref waved the fight off after standing 8 count. So yeah, you know, he come out in the second round. He found his target in the first round, or worked out his target, what he's going to do in the first round, come out and landed lovely little bodies to the head shots. You can't beat them. So fight 3 was at super bantamweight, and it was young lad McGraw, who's a great little boxer to watch. I really advise to go and watch him. And the good old Baluta. I spoke about him on the show before. He's a very interesting character, and he's pretty hard. So let's get into it. A very good round from both fighters. Both had their successes, but McGraw finishing the better and landing a lovely hook at the end of the fight. So McGraw getting the better of him in the early rounds. In the earlier first round, towards the end of the last first round, sorry. Going into round 2 now. A good round from Baluta. Came out game as always in the early part of the round and was landing and getting his shots off. McGraw did finish better in that fight, but you know, I think that was a better round from Baluta by the notes. Going into round 3, another good round. It was 1 round each for me until this round. That McGrill was the better fighter early in the round, landing a nice shot to the body and then went upstairs. So McGraw was starting to take control of the fight and becoming a better fighter. So I had the first 2 rounds 1-1, and then McGraw took that round. Round 4, McGraw had another good round going to the body, using his ring movement, making it hard for Baluta. Yeah, he had some great ring movement, McGraw. The way he moved and used the ring craft, and he threw a lovely variety of punches. So, going into round 5, McGraw should have had a knockdown. The ropes held Baluta up. He wasn't hurt, Baluta. And try coming back at times, but McGraw moving was making it hard, using zigzag side to side movement, and then lands his shots. So yeah, so like I was saying, his movement, his ring craft was good, using the zigzag to go and land off or pull off the shots, and he'll get his shots in too. And Baluta was struggling a bit with that to pin him down. So we're going into round 6 now. At this point, McGraw was well in control of this fight. McGraw did get a cut in this round, so pretty much the same. McGraw being in control of the fight. I do hope I'm pronouncing that right. I've got a feeling I'm not, and I'm sorry if I've pronounced his name wrong. But I think I'm pronouncing it right. So yeah, another good round, and you're getting a cut. So going into round 7, a better round from Baluta, best he had in a few, but McGraw was still the better fighter and still winning the round. So again, it's a lot of the same what McGraw was doing. Baluta was game fighter, and anyone that's seen Baluta had the joy to watch him fight before on UK telly or wherever you may watch it. He is a game guy, and he's really good to watch. You know, he's not the top level fighter, but he'll give anyone trouble on their day. And so so round 8 I got much the same. McGraw was looking a couple of levels above Baluta. Like I say, this fighter's at some level above him, but you know, it can make a lot of fighters come unstuck Baluta, so there's no disrespect from me towards Baluta. So I stopped writing notes at this point, and from round 4 McGraw was well in control of the fight at times. Baluta did have his success, but McGraw was the far better boxer. It was beautiful to watch. His ring craft and was top class. I can't see how one judge had it a draw. So yeah, so I stopped taking notes at this point, because otherwise it's going to get repetitive, isn't it? And yeah, I can't see how that was a draw, because he was well in control of the fight, McGraw. Baluta had his successes at times, but he did get to him. But yeah, no, he was outclassed that night, so I don't know what fight that judge was watching. So, fight 4, welterweight British Championship fight, Conor Walker versus Liam Taylor. This was another cracking fight. So, a very good round from both fighters. Walker was walking Taylor down to land his shots, keeping a tight guard, landing a big hook at the end of the round. Taylor was finding a home for his uppercut, and was the better. So he was more the boxer, Taylor. Walker being the more aggressor. Again, round 2, again Walker finished the stronger, but Taylor was the better fighter for the majority of the round, going to the body with hooks. Both fighters looking for the body shots, but Taylor was winning the. Oh, sorry. So yes, I had Taylor winning the round so far. So yeah, so he had the better start. And was boxing the better. Conor Walker was obviously more the aggressor, trying to find the aggressive shots. Best round for Walker, banking his first round. Walker being the biggest puncher and was landing heavy shots. Taylor being more the boxer. Taylor's tall, some big shots in this round. Taylor took some big shots in this round. Sorry about that. That was a bad bit of typing from me there. So he took some big shots in that round, Taylor. Walker certainly found his punches in this round and was getting to Taylor more. Round 4, Taylor looking the more bloodier fighter, took some big shots again, but was the better boxer. Another round to Taylor, so he got on top of it by this point in round 4. but Conor Walker could get a stoppage. So yes, Taylor was taking some big shots, and you could see it could have been a matter of time, or he could have been one of the fighters that's very tough. It looked like he was going to go at times, but find a way and stay in there, a bit like what Baluta did sometimes in some fights, I've seen him fight. So yeah. So Taylor was a good boxer, must admit. I was very impressed with his boxing abilities and skills. So going into round 5, another great round from both fighters. This was a nice both fighters having an answer for each other. I have to say I had Walker nicking this round. So Walker nicked round 5. He got the better of Taylor in that one. Closing him down a bit more and getting to him and getting his big shots off that he was getting. So then round 6, I had to fight even at this point. Walker winning this round for me. Taylor looking like he is trying. Taylor was starting to look like he was starting to tire a lot more. He put a lot of work into the rounds with his boxing ability, his ring craft, and obviously when you're taking them big shots, they are taking a lot of their energy out of them too. And so we're going into round 6. And what I thought is what I said earlier on in the review, and was going to happen. Taylor took some big shots in this fight, and Walker lands a big left hook on the chin and put Taylor down. Taylor couldn't get up. So yeah, it was partly probably the tide and the zap and the power that had been taken out of him, and he struggled to get to his feet. But no discredit to Taylor, because he boxed a good fight in that fight. He just got done by the power, and so that was a really good fight again. Right, so let's get on to Galal Yafai versus Rodriguez. Big step up for Galal Yafai. Let's not forget he's only had 9 fights, and he was taking on a big fight, a former world champion too. Not at this weight, sorry. I forgot the name of the weight he was at, but it was the lowest weight you have. My mind's gone blank, I do apologise. So, let's get into it. Round 1, Yafai got hurt twice in an action-packed first round. Both fighters getting down to business. Rodriguez nicking the round. So yeah, Rodriguez put it on Galal Yafai straight away. He's finding a home for the uppercut and was landing some big shots. Galal Yafai had a slow start to this fight for me, and it took a little while to get going. Saying that, I should have looked at my notes first. I am alright. So like saying, Yafai looking like he was the slower fighter out of them. Rodriguez carried some power and speed, and Yafai was getting beaten to the shot a lot of the time, but he did have his successes finishing the better fighter in round 2. Yes, so Galal Yafai started towards the end of round 2, he started to find a home for his punches and getting into the fight more. Yes, he had a slow start and he got into it. So I gave him round 3. Yafai was looking more settled in this round. Best round for him. Picked up where he left off in round 2, although he got caught with some shots, and one Rodriguez landed a lovely 1-2. So he was still getting caught and he was getting hurt, but he was recovering well. It shows his fitness levels were very good. But you could see the step up in class here for Yafai. But I'll get into what I think at the end. So going into round 4, Yafai eye opens up in this round. Yafai himself lands a lovely shot, starting to look more comfortable and settled. Both fighters having a cut above their eye, heads rubbing together, so that ain't going to help the cuts. Rodriguez still much the same with his fast and aggressive style. The fight is level at this point. So you've got to give him 2-2 rounds. Yeah, so Rodriguez had a real aggressive fast. Like he was coming for it, and he wanted to take Yafai out. Round 5. Rodriguez starts the round how we started the fight, landing some beautiful quick combinations, both going toe to toe in the middle of the ring. Yeah, you couldn't really separate them. It was an up close fight for most of the fight. They're in each other's. It was like fighting in a phone box. I think they said on the commentary. In the middle of the ring, Yafai having the successes in the exchanges this time in round 5. So he was getting his successes, Yafai. Round 6, both fighters just standing up close to each other and letting their punches go. Both going toe to toe. Yafai had a slower start, but both are matching each other. So yeah, Yafai had a bit of a slower start, and there was a lot of that at times where Yafai was getting beaten to the punch quite a lot. And he was a bit slower to react, whereas Rodriguez, like I said, was more quicker and more vicious with his variety of punches he was throwing too. So going into round 7, Yafai hurt early in the round, goes down, but wasn't a knockdown. Yafai gets up, he starts fighting fire with Rodriguez. Coming off the better, Yafai does have a good finish to the round, but Rodriguez is starting to nick the rounds. So Rodriguez is starting to nick the rounds for me at this point now. Going into round 8, a nice 1-2 from Rodriguez, starting to land his big shots again. Yafai comes back with his combinations. Yes, Yafai had some combinations, but for me it didn't look like they were powerful shots, although Sonny Edwards, who's been in the ring with Yafai, said they're not powerful finishing shots, but they're hurtful shots. But I just felt he was a bit slow that night. I always thought he was a bit quicker. I watched him through the Olympics, and it was a great watch through the Olympics, and I just thought he had a bit more speed than that. Maybe I'm wrong. So we got round 9. Start of round 9 was scrappy halfway through the round, a bit of a quieter than the others. So had a bit of a breather in that one, which it was toe to toe all the way through. A lot of action, no running around. They're both standing in front of each other, going toe to toe and having it. And that's what you want, really, isn't it? You don't want them fighters that run around. What's the point? You've got to get in there and fight. That's what all the public like to see. Well, majority of the public, I'd say, anyway. And so what we got here. Rodriguez again finishing the stronger and landing some beautiful shots in this round 2. I've got. So we're going into round 10 now. Yafai gets hurt early in this round. Yafai looking tired. Rodriguez had taken control of the fight. Yafai getting a caught with some big shots. So yeah, Galal Yafai's energy had been sapped out of him. I believe this was his first 12 rounder he was going to have. He'd only been 10 rounds before, and it was starting to show. He put a lot into it, and he was taking some shots. And again, like I said, that takes a lot of your energy away from you too. So going into round 11, Yafai tired, coming back, trying to get back into the fight, but Rodriguez was coming off the better in exchanges. So Yafai was still going, and he had a big heart. Big heart, and that you can't buy, they say, and he had a big heart, and he never gave up. Sometimes he might have looked lost in that fight, but he never gave up and he kept going, and that's his heart and determination, and you can't fault anyone for that are fighting in them levels, or any level, whatever you are, amateur, whatever. You can't fault that heart, and that's what you need. So round 12, Yafai finally goes down after a big shot. He wasn't terribly hurt from it, I wouldn't say. It's probably more the legs that have gone at this point, because he's taken the shots. Although he looked hurt a few times in the fight, he took some shots, but he recovered well from it. But his legs had probably gone by now, or they had gone by now in round 12. And Rodriguez was trying to get him out of there, and Yafai hung on. He was holding on quite a lot in that round. Very tired. I'd say he's more tired than hurt, I'd say. So like I said, Rodriguez was the faster, aggressive fighter, and Yafai stepped up to world level, you could say, and in 9 fights, and I wouldn't say he was out of his depth. I'd say what was beating Yafai was he was getting beaten by the speed and the aggressiveness, and I think that's where he lost it. Excuse me. So yeah, I wouldn't say he's out of his depth. He'll probably go away and learn a lot more from this fight, and I'm pretty sure he'll bounce back, and he could be a future world champion for us great British people. So yeah, so thanks for listening again. Please like and subscribe. ring the bell and all that nonsense, and give us the thumbs up if you're liking the show. Really appreciate all the people that are watching, and I'll be coming back to you soon with some more sports, music and life. Thank you.